had 31. Brew, what did Boston prove to you on Saturday night?
I think that they proved that they are very capable, and I'd say could be viewed as the front runner to be the first repeat champion since the Steph KD Warriors in 2018, 7 years. Like, they got a great chance to repeat. And the most impressive thing to me was the defense. I have not seen, Jaylen Brown, hats off to you, brother. Al Horford, hats off to you, brother.
Al Horford.
I have not seen, and Jaylen gave Luka some nightmares.
Yep.
I haven't really seen anybody do that to Luka Doncic. I know Luka ended up with, 34, 32, whatever it was. Yep. He got going late. But, man, they made him struggle early. And their defense was tenacious. So they do everything well. Now, they are overly reliant on the three. There are few teams like that. But they are the only team in the league that more than half of their shots are three-pointers. And what that does is, by the nature of the jump shot, you're going to fluctuate. So they're going to have some runs, some great games where they just run away from teams. But the league can always shrink. And you saw it in this game if you get cold from three. So that's something. But they've got it all. They've got the size. They play defense. They shoot the three. In Tatum and Brown, they've got guys that can go by you and get to the rim. So, and now they have experience as champions. So I think, Nick, I said last week when I picked the Lakers to win the West that I still felt at that time, you know what, in a series, I probably like Boston over them. It's hard. I'm not making a pick right now. It's hard to pick over Luka and LeBron in a 7-game series against, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. But right now at this moment, I do feel like Boston is the best team in the league.
Well, with respect to the Thunder, it still feels like Boston's A game is the best in the league right now. But to the point you made, Boston was up 21 with 11 and a half minutes remaining and up 4 with 5 minutes remaining.
Right.
I know you've made the point that in the modern NBA, a 20-point lead can shrink, but that was fast. That was even by modern NBA standpoint. I also thought it was noteworthy that while Tatum before the game said he doesn't consider this a rivalry, you know who does, evidently? Joe Mazzulla, who played Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown like this was a playoff game. Mm-hmm. Jason Tatum, the only regulation game in his career he's ever played more minutes was Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. There has never been, or a few years ago, there has never been a regulation game playoffs a regular season regulation game where Tatum and Brown played more combined minutes than they did in this game. And listen, you mentioned Horford's defense was brilliant, Jaylen Brown was brilliant, and Tatum had an all-around great game, which was important because the first time they played the Lakers, I think he had 16, 6, and 5, which then brings me to Kevin Wilde's tweet. Which, Brew, you don't follow Kevin Wildes on Twitter, and it's probably good for the show. Because Kevin Wildes you know how some celebrities don't run their own Twitter account?
Why was that not
I'm starting to think Wildes is one of those people. Because Wildes tweets things like this. Tatum is the best player on the floor, and it doesn't look particularly close. And then doesn't have this same type of vigor when it comes to talking about Tatum on the talk show that he hosts. So I have this question, Kevin Wildes. Because this seems to be what I and others read into the tweet. Do you think Jason Tatum is better than Luka Doncic?
Well, it's a good
Not just better in that
question.
game. Do you think he's better?
Were the Lakers coming down the floor looking for hey, where's Tatum? Let's hunt Tatum on defense. I didn't see that happen one time. I don't think that was part of J.J. Redick's plan. I know it was part of Joe Mazzulla's plan. And you know what I like? I don't play fantasy basketball, Brew. You ever do that?
No.
You get points for rebounds, and you can get points and you can play. It's called fantasy. I like wins and losses. That's what I'm about. I'm about hanging rafters, hanging banners in the rafters. I don't hang the rafters themselves. Head-to-head wins their last 3 seasons. This is including playoffs. Don't get me wrong. Luka does dominate the Phoenix Suns when he gets a chance to play them. But when he's playing Jason Tatum, he's got 1 win in the last 10 games. So maybe you're a Luka guy. Maybe you like the counting stats. I'm more of a W's guy. I'm more of an all-around teams wins guy.
So is Tatum better?
So I would take. I don't know.
So
I know that when the game starts, the team that has Jason Tatum on
because then I have another question.
Go ahead.
That's so right now, this moment, if you do you think Jay? You said a whole lot there without a whole lot of nothing. Who's better, Tatum or Luka?
I think when the games are played, Tatum is better.
So when the games are played,
okay, so that. Right.
Do I think
so
Luka? I don't want to dim Luka's candle, but
that's
I
fine.
think Luka's great.
So
I don't want to be painted into this corner where I'm saying Luka stinks, because it is like a binary thing.
No, nobody's saying that.
You think Jordan's great, LeBron stinks. That's the way it is. I think Tatum, when they play, Tatum outplays Luka. But Luka will have more counting stats, but he also gets hunted.
Go ahead,
Brew.
Well, I was going to say this. Look, I think Luka Doncic is better than Jason Tatum, but this is a year. Jason Tatum, this could be his year. And I don't mean, he's obviously won the championship last year, so I don't mean in that regard. But he does not get the respect, you guys know I've been beating this drum, that I feel he deserves. He's not, even I agree, I don't feel like he's in the face of the league, running right now. But he could change all that this year. And the way he could change it is by winning his 2nd straight championship. Like I said, being the first team to do that in 7 years, playing well throughout the playoffs and especially in the finals, being the finals MVP. And if they were to get the Lakers and he beats LeBron and Luka in the finals, and he's got, look, I'll say the defense was great for Boston. Early on, when the Lakers were winning the game, it was still close, but the Lakers were winning, I was like, Wilds, I wanted Jason Tatum to say, give me LeBron. We got Jaylen Brown guarding Luka. I wanted Jason to say, let me guard LeBron. He's part of the reason, not because of personality, but because of game, part of the reason I got no time in the Olympics. Give me LeBron James. And I didn't see it. So and look, maybe that just wasn't great for the team, but I would have liked to have seen that. So I'm looking at Jason Tatum the rest of this run to see if he's going to make this my year where I do get in the face of the league conversation.
Two things. One, the play at the end of the first half when he's like, you know what, I'm just going to go down the court and dunk the ball. I love that. And there was a part when, I don't know if you remember this play, Nick, the Lakers are on a bit of a run. And everyone's shooting threes, and I'm like, please just go to the basket. And Tatum got to the rim, he kind of cradled it, and he did like a left hand, and it sort of stopped the bleeding. I'm like, yes, I like the take over the game aspect, but Luka has a ton of that, and I wish Tatum had a little bit more of that. But everything else.
No, I understand, and I also understand that you now.